meteorologist Ryan Mahan, your weather authority, powered by AccuWeather.
Well, it's certainly getting louder here at the station. Rain on the roof, wind rushing around the building. And as we look outside in various places around South Mississippi, which you saw, unfortunately, Grant Chickasaw out there getting quite wet. And as we take a look out here near Harris, not all that far away from where he was, you can see pretty much the same thing. Visibility falling. Now we're at the top of the building here, so the surface will be marginally better, but marginally the operative word there. And you can see the wind and rain getting blown around, hitting the lens in strange ways, almost just looking very strange the way it's doing that. But that wind is picking up. We're still not even towards the peak yet, still expecting that to occur in just about an hour. But conditions are getting more unsafe by the minute. And that generally, if you're still out and about or know anyone that is traveling right now, I would strongly recommend urging them to get to a safe place, because it's very hard to see at this point. You just saw from the camera at the top of a building, but I was about an hour ago already aware that at the surface, basically dense fog conditions forming off in Hancock County as all of this moisture moves in. Tropical moisture, the strong wind, the rain being mixed in with that, so just not able to see. You can see that kind of taking that hurricane shape as it starts moving in, so it will just spread out and go further and further inland as it quickly moves into the area. So winds fluctuating a bit here. We're seeing some getting in excess of tropical storm force, like Bay St. Louis there at 42. You're seeing Gulfport 25, Biloxi there in those 20s. Not yet to tropical storm force. Ocean Springs already above that at 39. So these are your sustained winds. Now that does depend on where it is. This one could be in an open field as opposed to Gulfports that may be closer to a tree line or things like that. So you're going to have some discrepancies there. Picking up on those wind gusts, though, those are much more on track here, because it's the maximum over a period of time. So we're already at 35. Tropical storm force gusts occurring in Gulfport. You see that happening in Biloxi as well, off towards the east, a little bit lower for the moment with the exception of Petty Bois out there at 40. And then you're seeing the purple here, which we don't even have numbers for yet, which indicates we're starting to get in excess of 60, 70, 80 miles per hour in that area. So you're definitely going to keep an eye on that as it continues to develop. And right now we're already seeing those forces moving in. You can see New Orleans picking up on some strong gusts. Grand Isle down just a little bit east of where landfall occurred, 92 still. So 54 in Gulfport right now. As we advance this through, I mentioned I expect the worst to kind of occur between about 7 and 8. We're maxing us out at about 85. Now we could see that go as high as a little over 90 there, but it is going to be weakening as it moves through, interacting with all this land. But it's marshy land and generally pretty low anyway, and not a whole lot of things to cause friction out here, so it won't impact it as much as if it hit a little bit further west and then moved in. So still possible we could see some of those winds up there around 90 miles per hour. Then it starts to fall as early as about 8 o'clock, 9:45 here. We see it starting to fall down to Category 1 status again, and then shortly after that, as we head towards midnight, just a couple of hours later, we're already down to 30 mile per hour gusts, and then behind that is just what we would get on a basic summer day. So not too much in the way of an issue there. But looking at the satellite and the radar, you can see that stronger band just now starting to move through. That's what we're hearing on the roof, and there is more where that came from. This moisture is going to continue to spin through the area. And you can see that right here on the FUTURECAST. So advancing that through kind of the worst of the eye wall here, that northeastern corner of the eye wall, moving into about the Hancock County towards the Gulfport area around 7:30. Then we see that pushing through the eye, basically right on top of Pearl River and Hancock by 9:15. Once it goes a little bit further, you see that eye is essentially right in the middle of South Mississippi there. Any time after that, things will start to improve dramatically here in South Mississippi as the back end of that storm is already starting to fall apart and there won't be too much left. But again, we are just approaching the worst of this in just the next few hours, so please sit tight and stay safe because we still have a long way to go. And we still have many of our reporters and meteorologists out and about in the city trying to keep you guys abreast of what's happening. So Brantley, what's going on out there?